Hey guys, what's up? It's Uncle Zunky and welcome to another Isaac video. So this video is another one of those videos where this is post-commentary because I did a challenge in this run, and this is a challenge that took me many attempts to complete. So, of course, rather than uploading like, I don't know, at least 10, 12 live commentary runs that would all end in failure and defeat and depression, I decided to just do it on my own and be able to concentrate fully on the run and then finally be able to upload this. So, you're seeing some of the struggles. I had to restart that first run just because it didn't start off very well. I did do this run quite a few times and just went to the second devil room and attempted to do my best to get something good out of that devil room number 2, and if the run was just going bad at that point, I'd typically just reset. But I did eventually unlock the rune of Rebirth, which is debatably the best rune in the game. It's the rune that rerolls stuff, and it isn't too rare. I mean, you can typically get maybe 1 or 2 Rebirth runes a run, maybe not that quite common. Again, I haven't played very long with the rune of Rebirth unlocked, so I still have yet to see exactly what that is. But anyway, I still have to talk about what the challenge is. It's solar system, so you start with Lord of the Flies, which means that all of the little flies that you see will naturally become your flies. So if you walk into a room with a whole bunch of little flies, it doesn't work for the flies that shoot, it doesn't work for the champion flies, but just the little black and red ones, they will become yours, which is nice, and you also have flight from that. And then you start with the 2 orbital flies that do pretty good damage. The only problem is that's your only weapon, you can't fire tears. So the difficulty here obviously is not getting hit, which is sometimes easier said than done because you have to get up close and personal to enemies in order to kill them. So of course it's kind of difficult to avoid taking damage from them. But I did eventually manage to finish off this run. This is another run where I thought, you know, the best way to finish this off is probably going to be to get little brimstone. And I didn't end up needing little brimstone for this run, and I finished it off. There was items that helped me out quite a bit and pretty much won the run for me, but the items did not include little brimstone, so I was kind of proud of that. I didn't have to just wait for a run to get the one item that just completely breaks and invalidates the challenge. And this challenge is also to Mom's Heart. If it was just the regular Mom, it would actually be quite easy. So this is the run that I stuck with because I was like, okay, we started out here with a lot of health, or never mind, I guess it's not the run I stuck with. I should have stuck with that run because, you know, Mr. Boom is a pretty good starting item when you start with either 1 or 0 bombs. And it just is quite nice having a bomb every other room that you can use to explore for secret rooms and stuff. So I really should have stuck with that run. I'm not sure why I didn't. But this here is the run that I stuck with, and that's because I got a ball of bandages on the first floor, and you can get a cube of meat as well. But ball of bandages, cube of meat, I believe it's a 50% drop to get either one. So it's like, okay, I now have some more offensive firepower because the ball of bandages does a lot of contact damage. So it's going to help out quite a bit in fighting enemies, especially killing the regular Mom. Ball of bandages just does work against the regular Mom. So in here I spawned into one of the most difficult rooms in the basement, probably the most difficult room on the basement floors if you have flight. There are some other rooms, such as the room with all the spikes that are moving around. I think that one's pretty challenging, but of course it's a piece of cake if you have flight. But this room was pretty hard, and I believe I only got hit once, so I was pretty proud of that. So, yeah, I mean, this challenge so far is going really well. The ball of bandages just does an incredible amount of damage, and then we're fighting Krampus. I'm like, Krampus's head, please? But no, we get lump of coal. Krampus's head would have really helped out in order to kill bosses. It would have made that much easier. But to be honest, the red fly does a lot of damage, and it's more the little quick enemies that move fast and are difficult to dodge. Those are the enemies that I'm having trouble killing, not so much the bosses, but it's just gradual damage that you take over time, especially these bony guys, because they're really good at dodging, and then their bones can curve in space and can hit you. So those are the kind of enemies that, you know, you're bound to typically take damage with over time, and eventually they whittle down your health, and that's how you lose the challenge, because, well, you don't start with a whole lot of red hearts or anything. Okay, so far this run is going really well. I saw the black candle in the shop there, and I was like, oh, I want that because that removes curses for the rest of the floor, and I don't believe we're going to get enough money here for it. But we do fight Pestilence in the catacombs, and I'm like, oh, we're going to get an upgrade to the ball of bandages, so now it shoots Charming Tears, and even though that effect does not go off very often, every once in a while it's going to charm enemies, and then that charmed enemy is going to attack other enemies, and it's just going to make things easier. So I'm like, this is going really well so far. And also I began to think at this time that we can get a third ball of bandages. We can get a bandage girl, which isn't the best item, but what it does is it means that I can stand in the back or hide over a rock or something like that, and I can just have Bandage Girl focus down enemies and just attack them, and I can chill out and Bandage Girl can do all the work. So that's what I was hoping for. It's pretty rare to get a Bandage Girl. It's just not very common to fight 3 horsemen in one run unless you have the Book of Revelations, but without it, it's pretty rare, so I wasn't necessarily counting on it. However, well, you'll see how it works out. Also, we got a Chariot card, which is super good with these flies and also with the Bandage Girl, because it gives you invincibility and you can still use your orbitals to do damage. So the Chariot card is one of the better cards, one of the better offensive cards in a run like this. And this this room here is just absolutely brutal. All of the boom flies, I believe I got hit twice in that run, and then the Chariot card just absolutely destroyed Mega Fatty. Also, I got Guppy's Head, pretty solid space bar item, gives you some flies for damage every single room, and I have had damage ups as well during this run, so the flies are going to do more than just base damage, which is pretty nice. Okay, so we're on the depths at this point, and this is definitely the part of the run where I'm starting to think that we might be able to go for a victory here, because we do have a lot of health, and although I have gotten to the Mom's Heart fight before in this fight, I've died because, well, it's very difficult to kill the Mom's Heart, and also we did fight War on the depths as well, and at that point I was like, yes, because we now have a Bandage Girl, which now means the Mom's Heart fight is doable, because normally you don't have orbitals with the Mom's fight, so you are constantly being bombarded by tears with no way to block them, and of course you have to get close to the Mom's Heart in order to do damage to it, because, you know, you have to get close to all the enemies. Also, we got lucky and spawned Red Mom, and we have 3 orbital flies at this point, so really good defense as well from all of the pretty fly pills that I got. Just got lucky in them. PhD definitely helped with that. I got ceremonial robes, so some extra damage from that, so I have a ton of health going into the womb with a Bandage Girl with 3 defensive flies, so tears are going to be hitting me a lot less often. I can just bomb through doors now and start looking for this boss fight on the womb 1. And this is definitely the part of the run where I'm like, yeah, we got this. So this run just took a long time in order to get the necessary items to make it easy. I promise you this is a really difficult challenge normally if you don't get stuff like Bandage Girl and 3 pretty flies. It's quite the challenge to beat it normally. However, once you do get items like that, then it becomes pretty easy. So I'm starting to look ahead towards the runs I have left. So I have 3 challenges left. Cat Got Your Tongue, Suicide King, both of those sound doable. Just it's going to take quite a few attempts, and also Beans, which I just have no idea how to do that challenge. That's the one where you're blindfolded and you can only kill enemies with bombs, and the item, the bean, where you can fart and it deals poison damage to enemies. So those are the 2 that those are the 3 challenge runs that I'm still looking forward to get done, and hopefully I will get at least 1 out of those 3 successful fairly soon, and once I do, you guys will be able to see that. But I'm probably going to work on Cat Got Your Tongue. There is a way to cheese the challenge. It just takes a long time. Basically resetting the run over and over until you get a really good devil room. And you start with a ton of health with that challenge, so you can take pretty much whatever you want out of the devil room. So anyway, we're up against the It Lives fight at long last now. I have tons of health. I have the 3 pretty flies, so I'm really not scared of the tears at all. And this should not be that difficult of a fight. So it is a bit challenging just getting Bandage Girl to focus on Mom. She seemed more interested to kind of hang out with me, and I'm not completely against that, you know, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but it would be nice if Bandage Girl would focus on Mom. I'm also Guppy at this point because I picked up a couple Guppy items, so every single time the Bandage Girl tears hit enemies, because they spawn flies as well, I'm also getting some flies in there, so that's really nice. And Bandage Girl finally starts focusing Mom at long last, and even though she doesn't do the most damage of all time, I can pretty much just chill out in the corner behind my pretty flies and let Bandage Girl handle this, and that's going to be the challenge done. Okay, so that is going to do it for Solar System. I'm really glad to finally get this challenge over with, and finally glad to get that Perthrow rune unlocked. That one's going to be super helpful in the future. I will start to try working on Cat Got Your Tongue. Hopefully I'll get that challenge done soon, and I'll be able to upload that when it's done. But see you guys next time. Farewell.